What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, my name's Adam and I make adventure lifestyle videos. Today you join me in the gorgeous Santiago Canyon, which is about 30 minutes inland from where I live in Newport Beach, California. And today we are going to talk about this. This is my 2020 Ram 2500 truck, which I have gone about converting into the ultimate daily off-grid camper, zombie apocalypse, dog transporter, whatever you want to call it. This is the truck that I drive on a day-to-day basis. Around and about, I go get my groceries in it, I take my dog to the dog park, I take my girlfriend to the movies. But if I had to, at any given moment, without having to put anything into it, I could survive 5 days off-grid in the middle of nowhere and be fine. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that if I spent 5 days in the middle of Death Valley, I would probably be the only person that could get stuck out there and put on weight by the time he got back. I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a little subscribe if you do enjoy this video. So what we're going to do is drive all the way up to not the top of Santiago Canyon. I've done that before on my Honda Africa Twin. I'll link that video below. But we're going to go up to a place with a nice lookout point and I'm going to show you everything that I have done to convert this pretty standard looking truck into a 5-day off-grid self-sufficient camping beast. You ready? So I'm about halfway to where I need to be and I just realized that my GoPro that I had mounted has come off. I'm hoping I might be able to find it on the way back down. I did get some cool footage of crawling up here, but yeah, it's off. So hopefully nobody finds it before I do.
Nice camera.
All right, so let's get into this because that was a big claim that at any given moment in time, with the way that I drive this thing around on a daily basis, I could survive 5 days off grid. So let's say I got stuck up here in the mountains, 5 days, no problem. In the desert, 5 days, no problem. I'll go one step further. If I got stuck in Death Valley for 5 days, I would have ice cold drinking water and or beers if I bought them. No bullshit. That is how I've built this truck out. How might you ask? Well, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to notice is that for sleeping, we have added the ARE Z topper, or Z if you're American. And it's beautifully finished. It's a paint to match. So the paint is exactly the same as the rest of the truck. So to all intents and purposes, it looks pretty factory. You've got these beautiful little trim things here that sit on the bed so that any water that comes down just runs off and it just kind of finishes off that edge very nicely. On the back here, we also have this lip that's all built in. Again, helps you with the rain so that you don't get anything inside of the cab. And one of my favorite features about this is this. So the lock on this is actually keyed to the truck so that when I hit the lock on my key, it will actually lock the entire thing. So with one click of the button, I now know that my entire truck is secure. This is locked, you can't get in, all the doors are locked. Open it up, hit the lever, and we're in. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the bedroom. Now, I knew that all I wanted to do back here was sleep. So I know a few of you right now are watching this going, oh my God, he's got no headroom. That's fine. I built it specifically with that in mind. Obviously, you guys are all going to have your own needs and some of you might want more headroom. You can get that two ways. One, don't put in a 9-inch thick memory foam mattress like I have, and basically don't be a princess. I wanted this bed to be super comfortable for me and my girlfriend, and so that's why I went massively overboard with a thick mattress. You can also get one of the taller toppers that comes up a little bit. That'll give you a bit more headroom too. But like I said, I knew exactly what I wanted from this when I started to build it. I actually built a Ford E350 van before I did this truck conversion, and I learned a lot of stuff on that. One of my favorite sayings is perfection is not when there is nothing else to add, it is when there is nothing left to take away. And I kind of use that as my motto in building this truck. So what I needed from this was a super comfy bed, like I say, for me and my girlfriend, where we could sleep. There is enough headroom that you can lay up. You can't sit up in bed, but that's not a problem because most of the time we're outside. This is just for sleeping and also some sideways activities because there's no other way to do it. So I installed these LED lights up here, which I absolutely love because at night you do want a little bit of light in here, and it's fun that they can go all kinds of different colors, but typically I'll just keep them on red because that way you can see plenty, but also it doesn't mean that the light escapes out of the windows. These do have the factory tint on them. I am going to go darker. I'm going to do a limo tint just for extra security, and also because realistically I don't want anybody to be able to see in the truck at any point, day or night. So that's the sleeping setup. Let's get into the real magic of this truck and the reason why I'm able to live for 5 days off grid, and that starts with the kitchen and the pantry, which is on this left hand drawer. So what we have here is two 6-foot drawers. They're on these locking drawer slides that will hold up to 500 pounds. Now these slides are expensive. I think they were $250 per pair. Obviously there's two of them, so $500 just for the drawer slides alone. I have seen people build these where they just have the drawers that pull out and they'll put them on some kind of like a nylon slider rather than doing the actual slides themselves. That's perfectly doable. I just wanted to make sure that these things would last, and so me and Chris, who built my van for me, decided to use them on this. So let's get down to the real meat and potatoes of this, quite literally, and that is in the kitchen. So the kitchen is the left side and the storage slash wardrobe is on the right side. So let me show you how this thing opens and we can get into how this will sustain me for 5 days. That there, my friends, is a 6-foot drawer on slides that will hold up to 500 pounds of weight. They are solid. I've done this in bed liner because I wanted something that was a nice durable finish. And then this right here is a silicone heat-proof mat, which I might end up permanently affixing to this top, or I might leave it loose. I'm just going to live with the truck for a little bit to figure out how I use it. And then if I do decide to keep it loose, I will be painting this in the truck bed liner as well to finish everything off. So we have the Coleman stove, which opens up. We've got stainless steel back here just to help reflect a bit of the heat. We have the gas bottle, so I have room for extra propane bottles back here when I'm cooking. This one goes in like that, and there you have your cooker fully set up in 2 seconds flat. No fannying around, no having to grab it out and put it on a table or anything like that. It is good to go as soon as you open up the kitchen. And then for when you want to chop your veggies, well, you use your chopping board, don't you? So I love the idea of having like a fold out section. You see those RVs that start off skinny and then like they have all these different slide outs and they end up being a palace? Well, that's kind of the idea that I was going with here. So we have the fold out chopping board. We also have this, which I'm super pleased with, which is a fold out sink. So when I'm ready to do my dishes, I can put some water in here, do my dishes, and then I actually have a folding bucket that can go underneath that I can drain the water out into and then go and toss it away. And also this does remove, so if I did just want to take this and get rid of it, I can. Obviously I use biodegradable soap so that if I am out in the woods and I do decide to throw it out onto the grass, then it isn't going to do any harm to anything. And once you're done, all you do is put your GoPro in your mouth and then you pop it out like that and then slide it away. We put this little lock on because at the moment, this bed rug that we have installed, there's a little ridge right here and it just catches on this front door and decides to open it. So we just put this on for a little bit of added security. So the pantry, this is one of my favorite parts of the entire build. Look at that. My friends, this is why I can live for 5 days off grid, because I have stacked this full of all the things that you might want, like black beans and Great Northern beans and more beans, refried beans. What else have we got? Mushroom stems, we've got potatoes, we've got peas, we've got veggies, rice, pasta, pasta sauce, tea, obviously, every single herb, spice and oil you could possibly want, and all of the hot sauces from Valentina to Mary Sharp's, Beware, Comatose Heat Level, and of course because you can take the boy out of England, but you can't take the England out of the boy. We've got the Nando's Peri Peri hot sauce. And then in here we have my kettle. This is super cool. I just got this, so when I'm cooking at night, I can pop this on here, and this is actually a USB powered LED touch light. So you hit that like so, and then you've got a little LED, and you can have it warm or you can have it cold, whatever you want. It's brilliant. I love it. Obviously you can't see it very well right now, but just gives me that little bit of light for when I'm cooking. Other cool features I've got, things like this where it's just so my paper towels clip on, so I can access that. Obviously I can put it there, I can hang it off there, hang it off here, wherever you want. It fits perfectly over the thickness of wood that we used. And somewhere in here, I believe it's back here, yeah, this is such a snazzy little tool. So you fold the two little arms up, put it like that, and then you get yourself a plastic bag, and look at that, a bin. How good is that? I was amazed when I saw one of these, and so it just makes everything so easy. Like I said, that van taught me so much about what I needed and what I didn't need, and the main thing that I needed was to very quickly have a cooking setup, because in the van typically I wouldn't cook inside. I would always take everything outside, I would set up my table, I'd pull out my camp stove, you know, everything had just had to be set up and broken down each and every time. Even making a cup of tea in the morning was a pain in the ass. Whereas with this, I pull out the drawer, lift the lid, turn the gas on, light the stove, and I'm good. I've got all my pots and pans here. This is actually a brilliant little setup. So this is every single pot and pan I could possibly need. That is a frying pan. You have one handle that clips in and does all of them. And in here, I have all of those other pans, all within one tiny little footprint. And that again was one of the main things that I wanted with this build, was for everything to be very simple, very basic, but lose absolutely none of the functionality that I needed. Other things like, instead of having a knife and fork drawer where they're all kind of set up, now I have a knife and fork roll. So everything is right here, enough for 4 people, and when I want to clean it when I get back to the house, I just take this whole roll in, throw it in the washing machine, and then take it back out to the truck. And that's it, I'm done. This contains all of my cooking utensils, everything. Look at that, everything, everything. Knives, even a mini chopping board in there, tongs, scissors, the whole lot, and then tucks away back here, super nice. And then everything just has its place. I have mild OCD and this makes me so happy. Now, this is also one of my favorite features. So we installed these little lifts, and basically that gives me all of this counter space. So when I'm cooking, I can have plates here ready to be plated up. I can put pots and pans up on the top. I can have drinks up here. I can do whatever the hell I like. I can even pull this out if I want to and use this for additional space, because things can sit on there too. I just have so much counter space in such a little package, and it's perfect. Everything is right where I need it at any given point in time. Now, I researched all of the different camper setups that people had built, all of the truck bed setups that people had built, and I kind of took the best bits from all of them and then put my spin on it, and I am so stoked on what I've come up with. And I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but toot toot, me and Chris, who is the guy that built all of this, have done such a killer job. It works exactly as I want it to. And honestly, I think of all the ones I've seen, this might be the best one. And I only take credit for kind of the layout and stuff. Chris is the one that built this, and if you haven't seen the videos where we actually put this thing together, go back and check those out, because we have all of like the actual build process itself. But yeah, I just think that we've done such a great job with this. So Chris, thank you so much, mate. I mean, without you, this would just be some shitty old plywood falling apart, rattling around in the back of my truck. But let me show you one of the other nice things about this and why it truly makes it off-grid, because right now, all I've showed you is a kitchen with some tin food in it, and anyone can do that. You can throw that in the back of your Volkswagen Polo. Let me show you what truly makes this off-grid, and for that, we shall have to go up onto the roof. Hiya! I was gonna clean the truck, and I'm glad I didn't, because look how disgusting this is. So, up here, ladies and gentlemen, are 200 watts of flexible solar panels. So these were only about $125 each. I'll link them in the description below. But these mount with adhesive tape, so I've used body bonding tape. I put on these cool little edges on the front just to kind of give the front a little bit of protection. And then I've run the wires down and they go into the cab, and I'll show you what that powers in a minute. But these cannot be seen from the ground. So no one has any idea that this thing is a camper van. Because look, from down here, it just looks like any old truck. And even if you do just about catch the front and the wires, well, this thing's got all kinds of unicorn horns and stuff on it anyway, because I've got my satellite radio, I've got my GPS, Wi-Fi hotspot antenna on there. So it really doesn't look out of place. So when you see the truck like this, it's just a truck. Now, if I was stuck in Death Valley for 5 days, I would always have ice cold water and ice cold beer. So first of all, I've got a 6-gallon water jug right here. Plenty enough to get you through 5, 6, 7 days if you ration it out. And then this is what really changes things. So this is a 55-litre Alpi-Cool fridge. And I think right now it is just stacked full of, yeah, liquid death. So I always carry water around with me, sparkling water and regular water, and that is constantly in here at a beautiful 41 degrees. And this is being powered by a Jackery 1500. Let's see what we're running at right now. This fridge is so good on power that it isn't even pulling any power to keep it at the temperature it's at. Now I did buy this cool, like, thermally insulated jacket just to help it out a little bit. But these things sip power, and even when the compressor is running, it only uses about 35 to 45 watts of power. Now, these solar panels at midday will crank out about 140 watts of power between them. They're 200 watt panels. Obviously, they're never going to create a full 200 watts. But if you do the maths, with the fridge pulling 35 watts and these things charging at, let's say, 100 watts even, I have got enough power to power this 3 times before it even touches the battery power from the Jackery. So this Jackery is constantly being topped up by the sun. Right now it's at 100% and it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So this thing has been running all day. The solar panels have been receiving the juice from God's flashlight, and it's just perfect. So if you are looking to build like an off-grid setup, I have bought the lithium batteries. I currently have 2 $1,000 each batteries sat in my garage that I was going to put into my camper van. I never installed them because I put a Jackery in there with a very similar setup to this. I just used the thick solar panels on that one. And so realistically, for something like this, these power packs are so good because what it means is if I wanted to go and have a picnic and there was a picnic bench, or go down to the beach and I wanted to run something, I could pull that Jackery out and I could march my merry way down and I could go use it on the beach. So you're not tied to everything being linked into the truck. So if I wanted to sell this truck tomorrow, all I would need to do is unbolt the turnbuckles from this bed platform, slide it out. I would take the solar panels off the top, peel off those adhesive strips. It would take a bit because there's quite a few of them on there. Remove the fridge and the Jackery, and now we're back to a standard truck. I love the fact that I've been able to do something so impressive while being so unintrusive. So that's how I eat and drink and stay merry when I'm stuck off grid trying to survive. Well, where do I keep all my stuff? Well, my friends, all my stuff goes in the other side. So we have this drawer, which is another 6-foot drawer. This one has dividers, but if we want to, we can remove the dividers, and the gap between here and here is perfect that I can stack every single one of these dividers back here, even behind this piece, and then the whole thing just becomes one big empty space to put bags or whatever else I want in them. What I have right now up front is 5 days worth of kibble for Diesel. I always try to keep that full on here so that Diesel has food always on deck. His food bowl, obviously, his water is up front because I actually have this set up for my dog full time. So this hammock here basically keeps everything protected. As you can see, he is a hairy beast, and I have these WeatherTech floor mats and these WeatherTech door protectors to make sure that everything stays as clean and tidy as it possibly can. There is some hair down here, but it actually does vacuum up very, very easily. And these floor mats are a game changer. So if you are looking to protect your car from the elements and your hairy dog, then these WeatherTech mats come highly recommended. Oh, and this is a bottle of my pee. So back here we have all of Diesel's space. He's got his bed here. He has tons of room. He can stand up. He looks out the window. Even when we're asleep in the back, he's able to stick his head through here right at our head height and say hi. So he really does feel like he's part of the party, which I do love. And the main reason that I bought the Mega Cab, which gives you this extra like foot in the back, was for my dog. Look, he even has his own air conditioning vent. So typically in here, I would obviously have my clothes and stuff for the trip, but what I also carry is a portable fire pit. So this actually folds out and turns into a cool little fire pit. This was that bucket I was talking about. So this unrolls and makes a bucket so that I can dump any water, or if I want to do any washing of clothes or my own body, I can do that too. I also have a flameless log in there as well, and some plastic bags. Done. And that's it, I'm ready to go. So one of the nice things about the way that I chose to build this was that the bed platform is just held in by these turnbuckles. And so all of the space down the side between the bed platform and the wheel well is all open. And that means that I can stash anything I want down there, and it gives you just that extra bit of room just so that you can put shoes and clothes. And if it is cold, then you don't want to have to get out and then get changed outside of the truck. So at night you can get in, you can stash all your clothes down in the little gaps, and then you're good to go in the morning, and hopefully things stay nice and toasty. Like I say, I do have this bed rug, which is a carpeted liner that goes in, so that insulates it very nice. I haven't camped in it when it's been really cold yet, but I have camped in it when it's been like 70 degrees out, and oh my goodness, it's toasty. So I don't think we're gonna have any issue with keeping warm in this thing. In fact, I think it's the opposite. I think when it gets really hot, we're gonna have to work on keeping it cool. And I do have a couple of ideas for that too. So you're sitting in here, you're hanging out, having a great time, and you just get to enjoy this gorgeous view of the mountains from your bed. And it is so nice. Honestly, I am tempted just to have a little snooze here this afternoon, wait for traffic to die down, because this is just the best. Yeah, I could just have a nice little snooze. So there you have it, guys. That is my daily driver that also, at any given moment in time, could turn into an off-grid, bug-out zombie apocalypse van, and I could get by for at least 5 days. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know what you would change. Let me know what you love. I love talking with you guys and hearing your thoughts. I am absolutely in love with this thing. And if you stay tuned, we will be doing more to the exterior of this truck next. I wanted to get the camper setup done. I wanted that all finished before we started anything else. But I've got a trip back up to Precision Motorworks. Yes, the same guys that did all of the work on my Golf. And we are going to do some stuff to the truck. Spoiler alert. We're also going to do some more stuff to the Golf, and we're going to do some stuff to Carrie's car as well. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up, guys, a lot of cool car and truck related content. So if you have enjoyed this, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, show a buddy who needs this in their life. I am of the firm opinion now that I've done it, I don't think I ever want to be without a vehicle that allows me to do this kind of thing. Because there's something very comforting about knowing that if something was to happen, and I'm not a doomsday prepper, I'm not a negative person, I'm not expecting the worst at any point in time, but what I do like is to be prepared. I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I definitely live like one, and so this just gives me that comfort that if at any point in time I did need to just take off and go somewhere, then I could, and I would have everything that I needed to be self-sufficient for a little while at least. So yeah, anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you aren't, because I would love to see you here again, and also we are chasing that 100,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. Like I said, we got a lot of cool content coming with the truck, with the Golf, with Carrie's car. We've got Sea-Doo content coming, more camping, and even some catch and cooks. That's right, catch and cooks. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Tag your friends, send this to your friends if you think they need one of these in their life. And most importantly, remember, until next time, don't do anything I wouldn't do. See ya. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. So I had a GoPro on this that fell off somewhere down there. This guy may well have already picked it up. It's on a dual suction mount. Okay. If you happen to see it as you're going around, if you can pick it up and take it with you when you have service and I have service, maybe I can come pick it up from you in a couple of days. Woo. Dude, thank you so much.
Oh, don't worry.
Hell yeah, we got it back. That's awesome. That's very kind of them. They didn't have to say that they found it. That is very nice. So thank you very much. If you ever see this video, thank you for picking that up. That is really, really nice. And I will hopefully be able to pay that forward some other way.